Welcome to Mattermosaic, piecing together the universe, one discovery at a time. Every living thing, from the smallest bacterium to the largest whale, survives on one simple truth. Life needs energy. But where does that energy come from, and how do cells, the smallest units of life, keep us alive every second of every day? Cells are often called the building blocks of life. Some organisms, like bacteria, survive with just one cell, while others, like humans, are made of trillions. Yet no matter the size or type, all cells face the same challenge. They need a constant supply of energy to function. The molecule that makes this possible is called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. ATP works like a rechargeable battery. Every time a cell needs to move, repair itself, or send signals, it spends ATP. When the chemical bonds in ATP are broken, energy is released and used to power life. Here is something fascinating. The average human goes through their own body weight in ATP every single day. Your cells are constantly making and remaking it just to keep you alive. Most of that ATP comes from the mitochondria, tiny structures inside cells, often called the powerhouses of life. They take nutrients like glucose and oxygen and transform them into ATP. Billions of years ago, mitochondria were free-living bacteria, but they formed a partnership with early cells in a process known as endosymbiosis. That ancient alliance gave rise to complex life as we know it. And even today, mitochondria still carry a small piece of their own DNA, proof of their origins. The process that turns food into usable energy is called cellular respiration. It begins when glucose from food is broken down into smaller pieces, and then mitochondria take over. Inside, they release electrons, produce carbon dioxide, and finally use oxygen in a chain of reactions that generates most of your ATP. From a single molecule of glucose, a cell can create dozens of molecules of ATP, enough to power countless tiny processes at once. When oxygen runs low, as during intense exercise, cells switch to a backup process called fermentation. It produces far less ATP, but it can keep your muscles going for a short while. The burning sensation you feel during a sprint is caused by lactic acid, a byproduct of this backup system. Different forms of life have their own ways of powering cells. Plants capture sunlight to make glucose, then use mitochondria to turn that into ATP. Animals like us eat food to fuel the same process. Bacteria can draw energy from sunlight, chemicals, or even sulfur. But no matter the source, ATP is always the universal currency of life. Mitochondria are also linked to health and disease. When they don't function well, cells cannot produce enough energy, leading to fatigue or even serious illness. Researchers are studying how mitochondrial health connects to aging and disorders like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, offering clues about the role of cellular power in the bigger story of human health. A cell is like a living city. Mitochondria generate energy, ribosomes build proteins, lysosomes recycle waste, and the nucleus acts as the command center. All of these parts depend on the continuous production of ATP to keep the city alive and thriving. Every breath you take, every movement, every thought, all of it depends on the invisible work of your cells. Inside you right now, billions of mitochondria are silently transforming food and oxygen into the spark of life itself. Cells are more than building blocks. They are the engines of existence. Through glucose, oxygen, mitochondria, and ATP, they make it possible for organisms to grow, think, move, and survive. The next time you take a deep breath, remember that you're fueling the tiny powerhouses inside you. Mattermosaic, piecing together the universe, one discovery at a time.